And now, without any further delay, introducing first.
Ryan Samuel making his way down the yard dog from Red Deer, Alberta. Holds a professional record of 5 wins with 2 losses. And again, the focus that he has stepping into the ring here at Dekada. He is a completely and entirely focused fighter. Comes in as an underdog almost every time he fights, and yet has come out on top 5 times out of 7 in his career. He is the number 9 ranked fighter at the 140-pound division.
And his opponent.
And we await now the big cat, Jesse Arnett, as he makes his way down to the ring. And just waiting for Jesse to come through the curtains. And I don't know what the delay is here. I wonder if somebody needs to go back and get Jesse out of his locker room. And I don't necessarily know what we're waiting for here. He's up on the stairs, making his way down. Making his way down through the crowd is Jesse Big Cat Arnett. And again, one of these fighters that really has some great fan support and wants to make his way down through the crowd here. Again, the Calgary crowd so supportive of Jesse Arnett throughout his mixed martial arts career. And now, as he transitions and gets himself some boxing fight, he's in the main event here against Ryan Samuel. Jesse Arnett, the multi-belt holder in one of the world-class organizations in mixed martial arts, and now stepping into a main event, his 6th straight main event, whether it be mixed martial arts or boxing. And for him, stepping into the boxing arena for the first time in his career. Taking a look at the record, he is 12-4 as a professional mixed martial artist. Now again making his very first fight in the boxing arena. Let's get our official introduction. Here's Jaden Nance.
This one is 3 rounds in the professional 140-pound division. And now the official fighter introductions. He'll bumper with a 5-2 professional record. He's 28 years old and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs in at 139 pounds. Fighting out of Red Deer, Alberta. Please welcome Ryan Samuel. His professional boxing debut. He's 32 years old and stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs in at 139 pounds. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta. Please welcome Jesse Arnett. This is how we get tested on the professional rules for great times. Mr. E. Social.
Final instructions for the boxers before they commence activities. And all the talk is over now as Brian the Yard Dog Samuel takes on Jesse Big Cat Arnett. Cats versus Dogs right here in our main event. 6 3-minute rounds with Andy Social in charge of the action. Jesse Arnett, the MMA champion's first foray into boxing. And of course, Brian Samuel, always underrated, always dangerous, stepping in here against Jesse Arnett.
The most anticipated grudge match that we've had to date. This has been so talked about, so involved in the community, and I'm just beyond excited to see how this transpires.
The one thing that Jesse does bring is hand speed. He's able to land, but his biggest weapon in mixed martial arts is his ability to take the down, ability to get the Darce choke, which is something that's been effective for him. Not able to do that here. Left leg on striking, and there's a good first left hand that lands.
Look, Jesse's got the hand speed. He's definitely got the power, too. And Brian leads with his head. And he's done it since the day I watched him started boxing. But like he said, he's yet to be knocked out. He's yet to be knocked down. And Jesse has a heck of a mountain ahead of him.
Another left hand that lands. And then one that swings wildly and misses. That's answered by a smile by Brian Samuel. That's 3 straight that have landed.
Hey, calm. Stay calm. Lick it.
Good exchange there, and a left hand that lands.
A little bit of a wild sweeping swing there from Jesse. As always, unorthodox when you see other disciplines come into the sweet science that is boxing, but he's effective.
And he lands from different angles. The only problem is he's got to watch that he doesn't leave himself open.
If I was Jesse, it'd be that counterpunch that I'd be worried about with Brian. Brian leads with his head on purpose. He wants you to come at him. He's got a head of stone, so he's expecting you to throw everything into it, and then he wants to catch you off guard.
Using that too, Brian.
Good straight left. Whooping, swinging left hook from Jesse Arnett.
And again, for Arnett, his first foray into boxing, and he has been landing more effectively so far than Brian Samuel. But like you mentioned, Brian Samuel is a counterpuncher and will try and adapt to the unorthodox style that Jesse Arnett brings from his mixed martial arts background.
Brian Samuel always sporting his almost famous Batman socks that he wears in every competition. Oh, great strike there from Jesse Arnett, that straight right. You saw Samuel just check it a little bit, understanding that that one landed.
Good back and forth there. Pass through. And again, Andy Socially in there to step and reset them.
Well, we've brought in 2 of the top fighters in any discipline in Alberta, if not in Canada. And we've done the same with our official. Andy Social is got to be one of the best combat sports referees, period.
There's a good counter there by Jesse Arnett. And Arnett getting the better of round number 1. He landed probably 10 to 20 good, decent shots. Brian Samuel yet to find the range, but again, 6 rounds of action here at our 140-pound weight class. So lots of opportunity for Brian Samuel to come back in this matchup.
Brian seems to just be staring coldly over at Jesse Arnett's corner. I mean, he's listening to his coaches, of course, but before his coach got in there and got into in front of him, he was staring very, very ominously over at Jesse Arnett's corner. You can feel the animosity. We saw it leading up to the fight, and it's been a display here in the first round.
As you see, Arnett getting advice from Doug Harder in the corner, making sure that Jesse is sticking with the program. It's very important that for Arnett that he does not get overconfident, because again, he has never faced a boxer to the equivalent of Brian Samuel in his MMA career, so it means that he's very dangerous.
Brian Samuel is no stranger to damage, so he wants Jesse to come in, and that confidence can either make this fight for Jesse Arnett or break this fight.
And Jesse Arnett has been doing a lot of sparring with Lucas Wierzbicki, a top competitor in this country. So if you're sparring with that guy on a daily basis, you're going to have some advantage and have faced adversity. But Brian Samuel, very dangerous, and it is a lot different when you are live here in the Dekada ring as opposed to at a practice facility.
Brian Samuel, I mean, this is what he lives and breathes. I mean, he is boxing. In his eyes, it's the only sport. It's a sport that he's known for a number of years and has been very successful at. Jesse Arnett, with that adaptability, changing in different disciplines, it's a very interesting matchup.
Two guys with similar backgrounds, both did not have the best childhoods growing up. Both battled with substance abuse at some point in their lives, and both credit martial arts for saving them in that sport. And so the stories are great, and both of them live very good, pure lifestyles now, committed to martial arts.
It shows the character building. It really shows the type of people that are developed by competing at this type of a level and other levels too in martial arts. I mean, martial arts, combat sports, they breed great human beings.
This is a good return there from Brian Samuel.
Good left hook response from Jesse Arnett. A couple of wild swings to the body, but sticking right in there. That was a good right hand to the body by Brian Samuel. Jesse Arnett felt that one.
Coming underneath. The guard of Arnett. Clashing in the heads, but no damage.
Well, Samuel did call himself a Scottish headbutter.
And there is the cut coming from the left eye of Jesse Arnett. And that's almost immediately after the heads clashing. There's a good shot, a left hand from Brian Samuel, and Jesse Arnett giving some space. There is blood coming from the eye of Jesse Arnett. I don't know the severity of that cut, but it does give Brian Samuel a target.
It does look to be off to the side, which is where you want that kind of a cut to be, so it doesn't impede the vision by swelling up and closing that eye. Really, really affects depth perception when one of those eyes swells up and shuts. Good exchange, good tie-up. Jesse with that quintessential left hook that he always uses.
He's being very effective with the left hand and throwing that straight.
Referee Andy Social warning him on that push down on that low shot at the end of the round.
I don't think that on purpose. Definitely did hit an arm on the way in, but doesn't stop him from landing and doing damage. And a better round for Brian Samuel as he's able to land some good shots. There is that cut on the eye of Jesse Arnett, and I wonder if it didn't come from that headbutt there that we thought did not do any damage, but even the tiniest cut around the eye is going to bleed pretty bad.
Dangerous place to get a cut in a sport like this. Jesse Arnett, though, is a guy that I know personally is going to push through that regardless of what happens. I mean, he's the type of athlete that you have to throw out of this ring when he's in competition because he owns it.
Well, and just, again, both guys with those similar backgrounds both have that no-quit attitude. And Brian Samuel equal in that no-quit. And two guys, like you said, will have to be dragged out of here. So if this goes to the judges, they might just decide to do a paper, rock, scissors at the end, because I don't know if they want the judges to decide their fate.
No. Brian seems got a bit of a fire underneath him here in the opening part of the round that may or may not have been from that potential low blow that we saw.
Well, just again, Jesse talked about the different energy systems that are involved in the grappling side of things. And people who are used to being grapplers are okay with the grappling side of things. They find it to be restful. There is no rest here for Arnett as he continues to box. And it's 6-3s as opposed to 3-5s.
It's very different in the sense you have to make those shots count, those punches with intention in these rounds because, like you said, they don't have the same amount of time that Jesse's used to in mixed martial arts.
Had movement fight both fighters, both throwing and missing. The left hand is landing for Jesse Arnett.
Good tie-up and repositioning Brian to the outside. Again, I mean, the story of Jesse Arnett thus far has been those left hands. Great straight left, great on the bridge of the nose of Brian Samuel. It didn't seem to change his attitude towards coming forward, but those shots over time are definitely going to do damage.
And the fun thing that you're seeing, the strange back and forth, is actually Brian Samuel's finding more effectiveness with his left hand than with his power right. Jesse using the power left, Samuel countering with jabs and hooks of the left-hand variety on his own.
It's actually quite incredible. I mean, Brian Samuel's head doesn't move a ton, but his body does, and that takes a lot of reaction time to be able to slip those punches with your body versus that head movement.
Swing and a miss from Arnett. This is a good combination back from Arnett after the big swing. Here, don't let him breathe from the corner of Brian Samuel, saying not giving Jesse Arnett an opportunity to recover.
Trying to get a look at that eye of Jesse Arnett. He's got a bit of a mouse forming under the right from shots, but that potential headbutt does not seem to be swelling the way that a straight-on headbutt would.
No, and it looks like the cut is closed as well. So good job by the corner.
You have a man like Doug Harder in your corner, no cut's going to keep you down for too long.
Good exchange, back and forth. Both fighters are landing. There's a good right hand for Brian Samuel. That gets a pop out of the crowd.
And that's the power we've been talking about. And Jesse always has a little tell when he does respect the shot. He does have that little smile.
And as we hear from the corner of Jesse Arnett, keep your composure. That is incredibly important as this fight goes on. He's got to relax. He cannot turn this into a fight. He has to stick to it as a boxing match, because as his strengths are, the striking, if it's a fight, the striking is not his top strength. It's not even his third strength. And so he's got to keep it sweet. He's got to keep the science part of it.
The one thing you have to look at with this fight is both of these athletes are at the highest level when it comes to physical fitness. And, you know, it shows that this is a chess match. This is all mental. These two guys, the winner of this fight, if it doesn't go to the judges, is going to be the fighter who is at that little bit edged on that mental preparedness for this fight, because I don't think either of these guys are going to get gassed, and I don't think either of these guys are going to succumb to an injury from the activity that they're going through.
Brian Samuel coming out like a rocket out of his corner. And you see some of the pawing action there as they try and find their ranges here in round 4. First round definitely going to Jesse Arnett. The next two have been very tight.
Again, an incredibly close matchup. Kudos and a shout out, as always, to the matchmaking of Dekada Premier Fight Night, because we haven't seen too many one-sided fights. We saw obviously an incredible kick in our K1 professional boxing match between Mark McKinney and Curtis Higgins, but generally every one of these fights has been so close.
You start to see some swelling on the eyes of Jesse Arnett. And I think that if you look at the amount of times that Arnett has hit Samuel clean, Samuel just might have a head designed for boxing, because he's not swelling up. He's taking a lot. There's some good head movement. Jesse decided to change the tactic when he saw the head going side to side and started throwing hooks as opposed to straight punches.
See the blood coming from Brian Samuel's nose, but I've yet to see blood not coming from Brian Samuel's nose. I mean, I've said it before. I think
There's
this guy
nice left front
has a head of concrete. Little turnaround almost sends Brian through the ropes. Jesse a little bit of time to rest up, recover.
Now you see again blood coming from the nose of Brian Samuel. Starting to come out a bit more as there were two good shots before the push through the ropes there. And again, if Arnett can stay in good position, it's going to be a good advantage for him. If it turns into a scrap, that's advantage Samuel.
Jesse's got to be careful of that back fist punch he threw, because that's not a legal shot in boxing, but he is pushing Brian Samuel up against the ropes. looked like he caught him there a little bit, but Brian again seems to have recovered.
And good warning there from Andy Social saying no pushing, you gotta punch. And that's the difficulty when you transition in from a sport that you can pretty much do whatever you want to a sport that just allows you to strike with your hands.
You can hear the calls out from Jesse Arnett's corner, calling for the body shots, mixing it up a little bit. Starting to see some swelling under the left eye of Brian Samuel as well. Looks like some of those punches are starting to take their toll.
The striking back and forth. This has been a nice little comeback round for Jesse Arnett after Brian Samuel put together a pretty good round 3. The head movement from Samuel is good, but it looks like Arnett's starting to time it up. Again, there's an excellent little exchange between the two of them there, and that is a very good round for Jesse Arnett. Coming back after round 2, round 3, we're much closer. Round 3 may have even gone the way of Brian Samuel, so a good comeback round for Arnett.
Moving into our 5th of 6 rounds, Jesse Arnett looking as conditioned as ever. Brian Samuel looking as conditioned as ever, as we've mentioned before. So I really do feel that if these guys are going to leave this to the judges, it could go either way. I know from discussions we've had that is the last thing they want to do.
Yeah, again, both these guys want this fight to finish. They want to be able to solve the battle in the ring. And for these guys, as we take a look at the replay of some of the action that's gone on so far, look at the punches that land, and every time that Brian Samuel lands a good shot, Jesse Arnett gives him a good smile, but they've been going back and forth as good as any two fighters, and it's a great main event so far as we head into round 5. Just some extra Vaseline on the cut of Jesse Arnett.
And always vigilant Andy Social, making sure that he's got this fight in check. Jesse really landing as Brian comes in. You can tell Brian is wanting to start doing some serious damage. He's going to have to be careful from some of these incredibly unorthodox strikes that you see from Jesse Arnett, which, might I add, are incredibly impactful.
Good punching so far from Samuel. And the one thing, he has to stay grounded because there's a big shot right there. They landed to the side, to the back of the head. And a nice touch of gloves there, as Jesse knows that wasn't on purpose. And so you see that both fighters, the one thing, again, I believe Arnett has better than that's going to be a low blow. And again, so she's going to step in.
Sends both fighters to neutral corners, gives Samuel a second to recover here, getting hit in the family jewels. Regardless of the cup and protection is something that
hurts more with the cup. It protects you, but it hurts way more with the cup.
It really does. And, we always you hear the odd time in a brawling community, so to speak, the booze when the guy's taking his time. But myself, when I see athletes of this caliber, I want them to take all the time they need so they can come out fresh and explosive.
Take your time, and again, no touch of gloves there. Arnett trying to stay home. The hometown crowd, and that is a knockdown by Arnett. Arnett back up, and again, the MMA background coming up. That's a standing count. Right back at the action. Again, the MMA background, he would come out, but that's a huge knockdown by Brian Samuel, who's going to try and jump all over Jesse Arnett right now.
Massive turning the tide with that shot. One shot could be the difference. Brian Samuel turning on the heat. Jesse Arnett doing what he can. You see that grappling background trying to push him down.
And again, he's been landing some big shots. And then Social going to bring them together. And this is where that boxing experience of Brian Sam is going to pay off. Because he's got Jesse Arnett on the ropes right now. He's landing some big shots. It's a huge round for Brian Samuel because with the knockdown, that's a point down. And if he can continue to dominate this way, it's really tough going for Jesse Arnett here in the 5th round.
Big time. That was that shot that turns the tides in a war. Those small battles each round, that is one of those definitive shots that can absolutely turn the fight tables on their end.
And Samuel is throwing huge shots trying to end this fight here while he's got Jesse Arnett staggered. And you can hear the barks from the crowd, the Yard Dog support coming through.
You can see Brian, he smells blood. Like he wants to take Jesse Arnett's head off, and he's got to be careful though, because one shot in the right place can put him down, and then we're back.
There's a return shot from Jesse Arnett that lands on the jaw, and another one there after he bypasses the shot. So looks like Jesse is back in the game, but that doesn't take away the fact that Brian Samuel does have a knockdown on Jesse. So barring another knockdown from Jesse Arnett to Brian Samuel, it's going to be a 10-8 round.
Oh, we got some serious pressure being put on by the Big Cat. Yard Dog survives the round, and there...
That's a touch of gloves I love.
And that is combat sports, the animosity, the anger, the borderline hatred leading up to this fight. This is why I love what I do.
10-8 round for Brian Samuel. That one's guaranteed. So now we have a very tough round. Both of these fighters are going to think that they have to win this last round to win the fight. And even then, might not be enough for either one of them. But for Jesse Arnett, the first time he's been knocked down in his boxing career. And for Brian Samuel, at the end of the round, Jesse Arnett laid a beating on him, and he kept moving forward. Brian Samuel, the toughness there is huge, and I think he's going to be coming out strong in round number 6.
As a fight fan, this is the type of round you want a fight to set up for. We got two guys who know that this 6th and final round of our main event is the most important round of their boxing careers thus far.
And Social says stick it to boxing.
Good straight left. Jesse Arnett again connects with another couple, doubling up his jab. Brian Samuel sweeping in with big power shots.
And Brian Samuel's stance got square very quickly there, but now back to a traditional boxing stance as he lands a big shot on Jesse Arnett. A shot off of the break for Arnett.
Jesse keeping his hands busy, doing what he can, trying to keep Brian Samuel at bay a little bit from his forward movement.
And a big shot there from Arnett. Another big shot. Jesse Arnett's first foray into boxing, taking on the Yard Dog Brian Samuel. Samuel scoring the knockdown in round 5, winning that round guaranteed 10-8. But Jesse Arnett with the big comeback right now. He's been the busier and landing more of the shots here in this round, but one big shot was all it took in round 5 to knock Arnett down.
Well-placed shot, as I've said numerous times, is really what makes this sport so exciting.
It'll be an interesting matchup here, and interesting judges' scorecards. There's a big shot.
Both of them know what this round means. They were moving into the later half of this round.
Brian Samuel continuing to really busy. Jesse Arnett throwing everything he has. Another good left and another one that lands on the chin of Samuel.
Doubling up those lefts.
There's a good combination again. The fact that Brian Samuel has not gone down is incredible.
Tenacity, toughness, heart, will. Brian Samuel has it on. Jesse Arnett continue his assault forward, but Brian is sticking right in the pocket, and he is here to fight.
You can hear the crowd starting to get into this. They're anticipating the last few seconds of this round and what it's going to be.
So Samuel's legs look to buckle just a touch there, and that's the first time I've ever seen that with him.
There's a big shot back from Brian Samuel. Now back from just
huge left, and his feet. Arnett feels blood. It's huge. He's going for the kill. Brian Samuel standing. How is he still on his feet? Jesse Arnett.
He is holding on for dear life. Arnett landed some massive shots there.
Jesse Arnett senses this. You can see how calm he is, though.
10 seconds remaining in this fight. What an entertaining bout. This has been incredible from Arnett and Samuel.
Huge hit by Samuel. This has been one of the most exciting rounds of boxing I have ever witnessed.
What a fight, and you see everybody on their feet applauding as these two warriors put on a hell of a show here at the main event of Dekada. The knockdown from Brian Samuel in round 5 might be the difference, but Arnett came back and he wobbled the legs of Brian Samuel. I cannot believe that Samuel remained standing after taking 6 or 7 massive shots. Brian Samuel's toughness cannot be overlooked. It cannot be understated. It is incredible that he took so many big shots, and we are going to be going to the judges' scorecards. This is insane. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. Round 6 definitely to Jesse Arnett. Round 5 a 10-8 score to Brian Samuel. Who knows? But this is the show that we were promised as Brian Samuel took on Jesse Arnett. What a fight for both of these guys. I cannot wait for the result. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. An incredible night of fights here at the Dekada Premier Fight Night here at the Genesis Center in Calgary, Alberta. Check out Dekada online, Facebook, Twitter, social media, Instagram. You want to follow them all, you get guaranteed exclusive information on Dekada. And again, this main event was all it was supposed to be. And again, what a great battle between Brian Samuel and Jesse Arnett. Arnett knocked down and again immediately gets up, and that's that MMA background, something that in MMA, if he got hit down like that, he could shoot in. But in boxing, it's such a big round victory for Brian Samuel as he held on. And again, this fight was phenomenal. One of the best boxing matches I have seen. Now granted, the technique is not perfect from Jesse Arnett. The technique is not perfect for Brian Samuel, but they both had toughness, they both landed huge, and this was an entertaining fight from pillar to post. We are going to go to a judge's decision, and you don't want to leave this in the hands of the judges, but an incredible fight, and you see Arnett going over to talk to Brian Samuel, and a big hug from these two fighters as they know they were part of something special here at Genesis Center in Calgary. They're still waiting on the official decision. 6 rounds of action, and again, you have seen the knockdown in round 5 might be the difference in this fight. It's definitely 10-8 round. Who knows who's going to win this one? I see it rounds 1, rounds 2, rounds 4, and round 6 to Arnett, but the knockdown, and who knows how they are seeing it. So I see it as 4 rounds to 2 with the knockdown making the score.
We just need to swallow the water, just slowly pouring it out.
58 to 57, I see it is there. 58, 57. Oh no, it'll be 57, 56. 57, 56. That's how I see it. We'll see what the judges say. I have it 57, 56 on my scorecard for Jesse Arnett. 4 rounds to 2. The knockdown in round 5 makes up that extra point. So 57, 56 for Arnett is what I have on the books. We're still waiting on those judges' scorecards. It looks like we have the official decision. We will see what happens here. Judges' scorecards. I have it 4 rounds to 2 for Arnett. The knockdown in round 5, a difference maker as it brings the score closer, but we will see as it goes when we have the judges who do this all the time. They have an opportunity to call this one, and they're going to look at it right now. I like overtime. Let's go for another round. We have the official decision. Here's Jaden Nance to give us the details.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision. The scores are 57 to 56, 58 55, 57 55.
Jesse Arnett as he was able to get the victory by a split decision. Here's Shay with Jesse.
With you here today. Get you turned around the other direction. Jesse, you are a two-division title holder in mixed martial arts. You won a jiu-jitsu super fight. You now come out and won your professional boxing debut. Is there anything that Big Cat can do?
No!
I'm super thankful. Hey guys, listen to this. At the end of the day, the belts and the championships, they're going to fade away. In 5, 10, 20 years, the wins and losses are all going to blend in. I'm telling you, I hype it up. I got nothing but respect for any of my opponents. At the end of the day, it's the way you treat other people. That's what matters, and we're all brothers and sisters, and we all got to love each other. And I'm just thankful to do sport at this level. That's it. I'm a big mental guy, and if I have my mental capacity on, I'm good. Much respect for Brian. I'm going to keep talking, because I just whooped his ass.
Oh yeah, what way to go with it. Jesse, you came out here and put on a hell of a display. Your grit, your grind, your tenacity in that fight, that's a big fight, a big loss for Brian Samuel. I know he's going to come back. Your respect's incredible. I have to ask you, I've asked you this before, what's next for Jesse Arnett?
Hey Maurice, first round management, show me the money, let's go. Let's go, those bantamweights are world time. I'm not a 145 pounder, I'm a 135 pounder, and I'm top 5 in the world right now. How about that?
Jesse, it takes a lot for you to do what you do day in, day out. Coaches, sponsor, board people you need to thank.
I just want to say thanks to Doug Harder. You know, I come a long way in this camp. I want to thank all my training partners at Beaumont Boxing, Jake Lee Peacock for the work we've done over the last 3 years. I lost in 3.5 years. Thank you, Anderson, Calvez, Mom, Dustin, Cody, Michaela, everybody who helps me. I'm thankful. And thank you, Brian Samuel. You're tough, bro. You're the real deal. Thank you.